Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clint Zoka, and welcome to another My Thoughts On. And today, as promised, I'll be catching up on a few 2019 films that I have missed, whether it's for busy reasons or because I just wanted to save it for a very special occasion. So today, I will be talking about Rocketman. This is the Elton John biopic. This is directed by Dexter Fletcher, who was the man who saved Bohemian Rhapsody after Bryan Singer got fired from the project. Now, in order to talk about this film, I should mention what I think of the man. Dexter Fletcher, I think, is quite possibly one of the best working directors today. He directed Eddie the Eagle, the Hugh Jackman and, surprisingly enough, Taron Egerton film about a man who wants to be a ski. I haven't seen it in a while, but I think he wants a ski jumper, a ski, something like that. But that was a really good film. That was really well directed. And Dexter Fletcher, I think he was in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels as one of the main characters in that film. And in the UK, his voice will be heard in a lot of McDonald's adverts, which I now realise that's actually his voice, which, whether you love the adverts or not, you can't deny that he is a great, great person to have that voice. Anyways, so yeah, Rocketman, I'm a bit ashamed, really, because I actually really wanted to see this when it came out. I do not know that much about Elton John. I've heard of his name, I've seen him, and I've actually seen some films with his name in it, like Lion King. I think he was in Bob the Builder too, which is even stranger. Despite not being a big fan of the band, I really liked Bohemian Rhapsody. It was emotional, interesting, relatable. Whether it's true to the story or not, it was really entertaining. I love the songs and the acting. And it's kind of thanks to that film that I'm now somewhat of a Queen fan. Say what you want, saying, oh, I bought all the albums, I went to the concerts. Good for you. You know what? Fine. Good for you. But for me, it's thanks to the film. I think that film is what made me kind of like Queen even more. Not that I listen to their songs often, I do listen to them. Right, if they come on the radio, I will listen to them because they are fucking great. But I've actually never heard of them until Bohemian Rhapsody. I know. It's weird. So, anyways, Rocketman. So, what is this about? Well, similar to Bohemian Rhapsody, this is the story of how Elton John, who's played by Taron Egerton, how he went from Reg White to Elton John as we know him today. It's basically his life story, how he played music, and his life. When he plays music and his career's going big and he's becoming more popular, but his life is kind of getting a bit with his parents and his sexuality. And I'll just leave it there because A, spoilers, and B, there's a little more to it also. Going into this, I thought, is this going to be like Bohemian Rhapsody except with Elton John? And unfortunately, yes. But however, that doesn't mean the film fails. Not necessarily, no. For the most part, I was pretty much on board with Elton and his journey. The film was pretty funny. The film has great musical scenes that don't make sense, but they fit very well into this movie's world of Elton John. The commentary, even some of the themes in this film they do leave you thinking a lot, really. I really enjoyed I really enjoy what Elton John was doing with his songs that we all know and love. There's a lot of so much going on. There's a scene where we get to meet what's his name? I forgot his name. He's played by Jamie Bell. I forgot his name. The scenes that have him and Elton John are great. And no surprise, Elton John is, and you can correct me on this if you want, he's gay or homosexual. I'm going to go with homosexual, actually. And the scenes that involve him, doing this and that to another man is a bit, for someone like me who's not gay or homosexual, it's fascinating and interesting to see how he got up to where he is now. The struggles he gets through, he's even a drug addicted, he's addicted to alcohol. You've seen this before in like Bohemian Rhapsody and all that, but it's clearly understandable why he's doing it and why he's feeling this way. And unlike Freddie Mercury, may his soul rest in peace, Elton is still alive today. He is. So that's quite incredible. The scenes that involve him and his family, his mother, who's played by a really odd choice, but a really good odd choice, Bryce Dallas Howard, which is strange. I'll get to that in a bit. It shows a more harsher and even, heartbreaking side to Elton's family, who, one doesn't really care what he wants to do, and the other one is more strict. And then from there, the film gets a bit hard to watch. Not in a cringy way, but more like in a you feel bad for him kind of way. But there were a few times where I actually kind of think about the whole effect of the success that these people have. Yeah, you can get lots of money from them, but sometimes people they can leave your side. They can walk away from you. They can do this and do that. So success is not always going to be positive. There's going to be ups and downs, and everyone who is a celebrity has gone through that scenario where something doesn't go quite right. It's going to, something's going to go wrong and they're going to feel quite sad and all that. It happens to everyone. Celebrity or not, we all get them ups and downs moments where we feel like we want to commit suicide. Anyways, so Dexter Fletcher has, he has really good choices for directing, and this film is very well directed, of course. It's engaging, it's a little bit comedic, but I wouldn't necessarily say this film is a comedy. Despite having a few comedic moments, that's not really saying a lot. It's more emotional, it's more serious, it's more heartbreaking, relatable, and quite strong. I do not know that much about his music or his life, but this is certainly a really engaging and really interesting way to tell the story of Elton John. Visuals. My God, is this film gorgeous. It's one of the most lovely, colourful and energetic biopics I've ever seen, even though I've only seen two. The costumes that Elton wears when he goes to perform look amazing. Slightly disturbing since he's a homosexual, but still, they're well made, they're colourful, and some of them actually look like the costumes that he wore when he did those concerts as well. The scenes where he's actually, singing one of his famous songs, like Rocketman, you've got I'm Still Standing, you've got I'm trying to think of the other songs, but mainly all of them they look incredible. Visually and performance-wise. Especially with Rocketman, which I thought was visually absolutely fantastic, and especially with I'm Still Standing, which is actually my favourite song from Elton John, is also just incredible. It's a very well shot film, even though it doesn't look like anything special, and it's very gorgeous too. There's not really much I can say about it. You know, the editing's good, cinematography is quite nice, but it's just the big standouts is when he's performing on stage, when he's, you know, when he's wearing these outfits, and when we see him perform and sing, whether it's in a pub, a concert, and you know, there's sometimes it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make sense for, I guess, the right reasons, if that makes sense. But overall, I think this is just a really gorgeous, really energetic, and really lovely looking film for a biopic. I don't remember what I said about Bohemian Rhapsody's visuals, but I think I said they were like very, you know, it was very well shot. But I think this is better than Bohemian Rhapsody, visual wise. But still, I think they're both equally just as great looking. But this one just kind of stands on its own as a very out there, colourful, just very well done visual world. Characters and acting. Our main man, Elton John. He seems like your typical, you know, child who wants to do this, and then he grows success as he gets older. But at one point, his sexuality does kind of affect his life, and he struggles with success, and he has to throw all of that away. He's easily understandable and relatable in terms of success and life. He's also funny at times, despite the fact that this is not a comedy. He's interesting. You get to learn a little bit more about his life. I thought he was quite interesting, and I'll get to the acting in a minute. And the character who joins him, played by Jamie Bell, is also just a really good friend to Elton, and he helps him. And you'll know who I mean when I say this, but they both never had an argument, even though there is a scene where he does argue, but the other one doesn't argue back, which is a little bit refreshing because you rarely see that. There's the mother, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, who's more like the careless parent who doesn't seem to have that much care for Elton and his success. Same with the dad as well. Two dads. I mean, the one dad seems like more for him, and the other one seems a bit more strict. And then you've got this other character who plays a big part in Elton's sexuality. I forgot his name, but he's the one who he and Elton have a bit of a what. Stephen Graham is in the film, who you may know from Snatch, This Is England. He was in so much. He's great in the film. I think his comedic timing and style really works. And he was really funny in the film, despite not being in it for long. And now, the acting. The acting is fucking phenomenal. Taron fucking Egerton. He is really, really... what's the word? He's really outdone himself here. I've seen him in the Kingsman films. I've seen him in Eddie the Eagle. He was in Sing. This guy has got big talent. I thought he was great in the other films that I've mentioned, but here he is really fucking good. And that's kind of a coincidence, since he's in Kingsman: The Golden Circle, where Elton John was in that film, and he was in Eddie the Eagle, which was directed by Dexter Fletcher, and he was also in that. Oh, it's all coming together, but in a really good way. He was dramatic, funny, he had big energy, personality. I thought he was fucking great. Give that man an Oscar nomination, maybe a win, not sure, but definitely with Joaquin Phoenix. Jamie Bell is also really damn good in the film also. He's very charismatic, likeable, and has big heart. Bryce Dallas Howard as Elton's mum. At first I was like, really? Because she's not from the UK. And I was like, when I heard her, I was like, okay, not a bad choice. She does the British accent for the most part, for the part, for the most part, quite well. At times, her American accent can sometimes slip in, and it can feel a bit, but for the most part, it was really good. Stephen Graham is funny as always, and you got these other. I don't remember the other actor's name, but I think I've seen him in like Cinderella or something. Overall, the characters who represent the real people that we used to know and the one that we do know are fleshed out, funny at times, relatable. They are very touching, and they have so much that we can relate to also. I think that's what I said already. But thanks to some strong performances, these characters feel like they're out of this world even more than before. For the songs, they're all great. The only ones that stand out for me is Rocketman, Crocodile. Is it called like Crocodile Rock? I think that's what it's called. And I'm Still Standing, of course. But all of them are great. Dexter Fletcher, you've outdone yourself again. This might not be perfect, but in a ways, I could kind of say this is better than Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, don't get me wrong, I do really like Bohemian Rhapsody, but I don't know, I kind of like this film a little bit more. Rocketman is just another strong biopic from Dexter Fletcher, with strong performances, great characters, great drama. It's visually gorgeous, it tells its story quite well, and even if I don't know the real story or the guy or his songs that well, I thought this was just a really great, touching, relatable, funny, engaging biopic. If you haven't seen the film, and if you're a big fan of Elton John, I think you'll really like the film. And just like Bohemian Rhapsody, thanks to this film, I actually like John a bit more in terms of his songs and all that. Now, I'm trying to think of a rating right now. I'm going to say a 6. Yeah, not a 6. Sorry, a 9.7. Yeah, I think that's a bit fair. The issues I have is that his family is unlikable, but I guess that's kind of the whole point. That and it does feel a little bit familiar with Bohemian Rhapsody, but a 9.7 I think is quite fair. So yeah, Rocketman. I didn't think I would like it this much, but I actually did. So next up, I will try and review Midsummer. I might do Brightburn, and I might do Yesterday, the Danny Boyle film. Strange, really, because we've got all these films coming out with either titles or relating to these bands. Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, Rocketman, Elton John, Yesterday, The Beatles, Last Christmas, Wham. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, no, I will not be seeing Last Christmas. It just looks like another Bohemian Rhapsody, but poor. That, and it should be made for television. Anyways, I will be doing all that, and then Jumanji, the next level, will be next week. It's got an advanced screening on the 27th and 8th of December, so you will be seeing a early review from me. And then it comes out on the 13th, so yeah. So if you have seen Rocketman, what do you think below? Do you think it's good, bad, decent? Do you want to see it? Let me know below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Until next time, I'm still standing. I don't remember. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. How embarrassing is that?